let's attack aggressively. What an asinine statement. I mean, how else would you expect someone to attack? Passively, perhaps? Let's attack meekly. Well, I guess that doesn't have the same kind of ring to it. But regardless of how you choose to attack, this game is a huge amount of fun. And this game goes under many different names. It was called Contra Spirits in Japan, Contra III, the Alien Wars in the US, and Super Probotector here in the UK. But the version I am playing here is the US version, Contra III, the Alien Wars. Released in 1992, Contra III is a 1 or 2 player game which sees the player tasked with fighting off an alien invasion of Earth across 6 stages. 4 stages feature side-scrolling action traditional to the series, while 2 are presented from an overhead perspective. The player is equipped with 2 machine guns that can be swapped at will and upgraded with power-ups. These power-ups are typically dropped from flying pods and include alternate shot types such as homing missiles, torpedoes, a flamethrower, a laser, and a spread shot. Picking up a power-up will replace the shot type of the gun equipped, and losing a life will result in losing the power-up from the gun equipped. Bombs and a temporary barrier shield may also be dropped. The player has limited bombs, and using them will damage all enemies on the screen. The player can also climb walls and ledges, perform a spinning jump, firing both guns in an aerial somersault. However, during this move, both of the player's weapons will be at risk of being lost upon losing a life. The action is very fast, and at times relentless. The whole game has this sci-fi B-movie feel about it, with hordes of enemies running to certain death as they just throw themselves at the player. At one point in the game, you even jump between flying missiles as you attack one of the invading alien motherships, all adding to the over-the-top pace of the action. The other aspect that makes it feel like a B-movie is the music. Each stage has several different music themes to it, usually starting when a level mini-boss has been thwarted, kind of like the background music in a movie that sets the scene. In one stage towards the end of the game, the soundtrack even sounds very similar to the one used in the movie Predator, as you face off against a flying alien that looks like one of H.R. Giger's inspired aliens, albeit with wings, which combines influences from 2 movie franchises in one scene. The game itself is very challenging, with even the easiest difficulty setting providing a substantial challenge. Very few of the enemies tend to fire back at you. They mostly just run at you and try and overwhelm you in large numbers, just like the Zulus did against the British at Rorke's Drift. The 2 Contras must have been saying to each other, "Here he come! Thousands of them!" Unlike the British at Rorke's Drift, the 2 combatants in this game have an endless supply of ammunition for their rifles. If you are lucky enough to complete the game, it mocks you for being a wuss, as you don't get to see the real ending until you complete the game on that hardest setting. But to be honest, even if you are lucky enough to complete the game on the hardest setting, the reward is hardly worth it. The game has two different playfields. You have the traditional run to the left and gun everything down, and you have these top-down levels which show off the Super NES Mode 7 graphics tricks. These overhead sections didn't really add anything to the game, if I am being honest. In fact, I hate these sections. Mainly because I'm crap at them, especially the second of them where I tend to die a lot. An awful lot. Contra III is a massively popular game on the Super NES, and one of those early releases that helped shift the console in the UK. At the time of its release, side-scrolling shooters were not as fast-paced as this. Action sequences in this game were like nothing else seen before, either in terms of visuals, pace, or action. It just never stops in this game. A mate of mine was lucky enough to get this on import, and we played it loads over the Easter of 1992, when I was supposed to be studying for my exams in high school. I was using my study leave to play this game instead. This was not the best use of time, but at that time I didn't care. Who wanted to study when you could play a quality arcade style shooter like Contra in the comfort of your own home? I didn't care about learning to speak French. I had no intentions of ever going there anyway. Konami were quickly establishing themselves as the best software company to produce games for the Super NES. And in those early days, they were churning out hit after hit. And Contra was a fine example of the calibre of games they were capable of. And the slowdown was very minimal, which was impressive given the amount of action on the screen at any one time. Contra 3 was, in my opinion, the best Contra game ever made. Some Mega Drive owners may get a little wound up now as they defend Contra Hardcore on the Mega Drive, but I haven't played that game, and besides, it's only an opinion, so wind your necks in. I do play this game quite a lot in emulation. It's not a very long game. A single playthrough can be done in about 20 minutes or so, but so what? It's one of those pick up and play games, and I urge anyone who hasn't played it already to pick it up and have a play. You won't regret it. And for those that have played it, how do you rate Contra 3? Is it a game that deserves to be hailed as a classic? Or is it a game best consigned to the bin? Regardless of opinion, please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. That's all from me, folks. Thanks for watching.